When you guys select leaders, make sure that the selection of leaders, it is thoroughly thought of. You do not select leaders that would look tomorrow will come and haunt you as a community. I'm saying this to say, I was watching a specific video here. I saw a whole counselor. This person is said to be. Let me give you a bit of a detail about it. Okay, let me grab. I'm grabbing my laptop, guys. This person is said to be belonging to. Just give me a moment, but is an ANC councillor, and we can even see him is wearing an ANC thing. It is said that an ANC ward councillor in Ward 41, Rusternburg, shooting at community members of his ward. Yeah, I boo. Guys, when you select leaders or when you choose leaders, choose people based on their leadership capabilities, not based on who they know, not based on what they have, not based on what they seems to, or even if they seem to be having a specific lifestyle that you desire, but don't choose leaders on the basis of that, because if leadership is not in you, then you're going to have a problem. You're going to have to use firearms to dispense crowd that is dissatisfied at you and dissatisfied on the services that you are rendering to them, like this counselor. How on earth do you use a firearm to dispel a crowd? How? This is a real firearm, by the way. The firearm that you're seeing there, that's a real firearm. How do you use that? First of all, look, you will see that case will disappear, and we will not know what happened to that case. That's the first thing. That case will disappear, and I'm telling you that case will disappear. We will not know what happened to that case, as it always happens with other cases. But before we can proceed, it would be nice for us to start here. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, will bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, first of all, police, when they dispel a crowd, they do not use the real firearms. You will notice they are 9mm here. They will have their big guns, the R4, whatever that they are carrying, right? But when it comes to dealing with community protesting against anybody, they don't use all of these big guns or big machines that they are carrying. They don't use them. Why? Because those are real stuff. One mistake you shoot, a person is dead. So they have what we call it the rubber bullets. And even within the South African Police Service, by the way, there's a department that is dedicated in dealing with crowd. I think it's called what public policing order, something like that. There's a specific department, just like police service. They are created in different. They've got different departments within the South African Police Service. Like you've got Hawk that specializes in serious crimes, and then you've got the General South African Police Service that are specializing in patrolling, and then you've got the investigators. They've got their own department within the South African Police Service. So it is with managing crowd. You've got certain police that are trained to manage crowd. Even they don't use these things. They don't use the real stuff. That's why when if IPID find that they use such in dispelling a crowd, such police, they face disciplinary. They face disciplinary. They face the full mighty of the law. Then you've got a counselor who is a counselor, uses that. What should be the consequences? I will tell you this. Point number 2. According to the firearm law, right there, this guy should not have, look, his license must be suspended. He should not be allowed to have a license. Clearly, he has failed. Just if you're looking at the law that governs, look, the law that governs firearm, he has failed. The firearm must be taken away. You don't use firearm in such a situation. And then you also go to just generally, from what I know, this guy, just generally constitutionally, this guy must look. He will face some aspect of the law. There are some aspect of the law that deals with that. Number 3. Was his life in danger? Who was endangering the life? What is it that they have? This question leads back to what I was talking about when I said you don't use a firearm in any way or any way you want. This is me trying to say the following. According to the firearm law, one does not have a right to use an excessive force, especially where that excessive force is not used against you. Say, for instance, you can use this firearm, whereas the community is not necessarily carrying anything that can be identified as an excessive force. Excessive force is something that can take your life. Yes, others can even argue that a pen can be classified as an excessive force. But the law stipulates that you cannot use an excessive force. And it uses the very same words that I'm talking about, excessive force. You'll find it in that specific act. I just said I forgot which one, but I know. If you can search around the firearm laws and you search excessive force, you will find exactly those words. You cannot use an excessive force, especially in a situation where there is, look, the other people does not have an excessive force being used against you. So in this case, we would love to know if there was a need or there's any evidence that there was an excessive force being used against the counselor. If there wasn't, I feel for him. I feel for him it's shy. I feel for him it's the end of the road in terms of him. You can even get arrested for that matter. Do you know that if you and I are fighting and I have my firearm here, do you know that even to touch the firearm, it equals to me threatening you that I'm going to take your life with a firearm? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's that deep. It's that deep. You can't just use a firearm. You can't. You can't. Yet there's a counselor, a whole leader, who, in the midst of a crowd, he took out his firearm to dispel a crowd. Hey, even if in that crowd there was a person that wanted to use an excessive force against him, but the problem is the crowd. Not all of the people there have the excessive force. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So how do you shoot towards the crowd when there's 2 people out of 15 people that are, the 2 of them are having excessive force, that 18 of them does not have excessive force? How do you use an excessive force? You in an ordinary country, in an ordinary justice system, you will have a lot to answer. Here, you will have a lot. Like, when I say a lot, I mean every 2 cents of the word. You have a lot to answer. And I doubt you can survive in an ordinary country, in an ordinary justice system. But we all know anything is possible. We all know. These ones, anything is possible. You might survive because, they survive. I don't know how. Nonetheless, let's stop this video here. I'll see you on the next episode. But until then, please take care.